Hey Piers, where's your mea culpa? When are you going to admit that you put a liar on the television and that you consistently lie about the figures that are given by the Gaza Health Department? How do I know that they're lying? You ask Jonathan Konrikas, how do we know that they're lying? First of all, they have every reason to lie. The bigger the number of the deaths of civilians, the worse Israel looks. So therefore, they have a motive to lie. Secondly, there is nobody who can actually count the dead. How is it that, Mr. Piers Morgan, how is it that there's no accounting for the number of people who've died naturally out of old age or sickness? They're all included in those numbers. Number two, for the first few months of the war, they were putting out a number that 70% of the casualties were women and children. And this number continued for several months consecutively. That was from the Hamas, the Gaza Health Ministry, the one that you say is reliable. Every single major fact finder across the board found that it was incredulous that the numbers should be correct, because they constantly came up with 70%. How do you get 70% every time? 70% of these are women and children. 70% of that is women and children. That can't happen. You have across the board, you can have an average, but sometimes it's 50%, sometimes it's 80%, sometimes 90%. That's how you get 70%. But every major statistician, every major fact-finding organization found that their figures were lies. So if you see that somebody is lying, how can you then, 3 years later, with a straight face, put on an anti-Semitic face and say, we have to believe the Gaza Health Ministry, after they lied? And they have every reason to lie. And there is no way that you can fact-check them. The only people who you fact-check are the Israelis. You say that 1,000 people were killed at the distribution centers in the last few months. Where are the bodies? And where are the pictures of Israeli soldiers shooting at them? And you had this guy, Aguillar, put on a nice face. He's a nice-looking guy. Oh, he's not an anti-Semite. He's a pro-Israel. But there are things that are no good, that are war crimes. And Jonathan Konrikas, you didn't put in with such favorable images. I mean, he didn't have the same presence in a place or in a studio the same way as the other guy. Jonathan Konrikas looked like he was outside somewhere. And this guy looked tan and trim, and he saw what he saw, and he reported what he saw, and so we just found out major news source, not Israeli, determined that this guy is a liar. Claimed he saw an Arab kid get shot by an Israeli. The stepmother of that child, who supposedly was photographed, said the child is still alive as of a couple of months ago, disappeared, and she thinks she's still alive. So much for the reliability of the people that you have on. Where is your professionalism? Where is your ability to discern? You only have bluster, and you shout people down when you don't like what they're saying. That's the reality, Mr. Morgan. I've given you a challenge. I'm a little rabbi in Farmington Hills, Michigan, and I'm ready to debate you any day of the week. And twice on Sunday. Because Shabbos I don't debate.